Hello and welcome to Flory Models. Here we are with the Friday catch-up show on the 20th of September 2024. Busy week this week. As a lot of you know, obviously the members all know this anyway, but we have Matt down for the week. We're doing lots of sort of working about PM models. We did some filming, been teaching him a little bit of editing and all stuff like that as well. So really full on week. We did a load of shows with Matt. We had a live show as well last night. So yes, very, very bit. And on top of it, we managed to get a great kit review in as well, in the form of the actual June Ornithopter as well. So we've got that one coming up later on in the show. So anyway, all started on Monday. Finally, the final part 15 of the Fondays Miniatures Halifax Mark III. And again, it has been a true sort of labour of love right the way through. So we're basically in the final part, we continue on with the weathering. Basically what we did on the top, you can see the panel line wash showing through there. So we came in with oils and we did all the work on that, giving it that nice grimy look. We had to scratch build a load of the white metal parts because, to be honest, they were awful. So they had real problems with sort of short shots on them. And yeah, they were just nasty. So I ended up doing scratch building most of the aerials and things like that, again, out of brass rod. The weapons are awful as well, so we ended up 3D printing some 250-pound bombs, and we got a cookie down in there from the kit. Managed to get all of those installed in there, all right, and then went around putting all the tiny little bits just onto this one. So again, it's fitting all the sort of brass bits that we've replaced with it, all the pitos. To be honest, I went around with pens, markers, and we painted up all the other bits down in there. And then, to be honest, my kit didn't actually have any guns at all, so we had to 3D print some 303s. So we've got the quad up on the top, and then obviously some of the other little details on this one was how to do the actual clear part framing on here. So I elected to use insulating tape and template it and cut those on, because again, it gives you that little bit of scale with it, and obviously it's a lot easier than it would be trying to paint it and spray it and stuff like that. So that works very, very well down into those ones. With all of that done and the final touches onto this one, it was just time to get the aerial system onto it as well. So again, we managed to put the aerial in, and then usual thing with this, we use the Prim knitting in elastic, and then again using markers, we went right the way through and we just painted all of those up. And then we got it fitted on, completing off the build. And it was, to be honest, a lot of fun with this one. And again, it was one of those builds where I'm happy to say it turned out really nice. It's not going to win any awards. It's not very accurate. It's in shape. It's got issues all the way over it, but at the end of the day, it's still what I would consider not a bad 48 scale Halifax. And until somebody comes along and actually does a new tooled one, I think this is the best you're going to get. And again, it's been one of those kits that, you know, go into it eyes wide open. We know it's bad. We know it's got issues right the way through it, and we managed to hopefully tame the beast and get it looking half decent. And again, just by going around doing a full rescribe onto this one and then a full rivet job onto it as well, I think just helps break it up, and it takes your eye away from some of those areas which are a little bit questionable on the kit as we made our way through with it. But generally, thoroughly enjoyed it. I wouldn't want to build these kits every day. I know I've spoken about it a lot over the last few weeks, but definitely it's one of those ones which I really will remember as with fondness as well, not with regret of actually doing this particular kit all the way through on this one. Anyway, the high-res photos are available. You can go off and you can see them, and obviously at the end of the show, so you can just pop down in here. And don't forget, if you want to have an idea, if you haven't seen it, about this particular build, the full photo build of it is up on the site, and it is free to have a look at and all the rest of it. And obviously the video build is available for members, so you can go right the way through here and you can see all the pictures just like that. All right, so again, had a lot of fun with it, and it's finished. And yes, it was just one of those ones, a little bit of joyful at the end of it. So yes, nice job on that one. Then obviously on Tuesday, Matt was down. So we were basically just talking about what Matt brought down. He brought me some goodies for my future projects that we'll be working on. And then obviously we were talking clearly about obviously the Halifax, and he was building his guide over it as well, his beady little eyes right the way over it, and generally having a little bit of a discussion on there. It's only a little bit, 20-minute show, but obviously members, you can go off and you can see that one right now. And then yesterday, we've been playing with ideas, and one of them was literally is doing not so much for the members. We spoke to the members a lot about this last night, tried to explain it, but a little bit of something that Matt and myself might do in the future, and it is something little thing called 1 minute quick tips videos. 1 minute quick tips. Using a cutting template for making thin strips. Place your Tamiya tape exactly where you want it on your cutting mat. Using a sharp knife, place in the grooves and then cut along the line. For different size strips, place the tape where you would need it, so you can go from 1mm to 0.4mm, and then obviously you can double it up. Here we're cutting 2 strips, one at 0.7mm and one at 0.14mm by doubling the strip width. Using different cutting boards, you can do different shapes. Here we can do triangles of any shape, and you could use them just like that by following the actual lines. Here you can do circles on this one. Here we've got radiuses, and again, by doubling up the size and the shape, you can do radiuses of any particular line and shape. So that's it. It was just literally a little video, just something that we were playing on. As I say, we were teaching Matt about editing and shooting with multiple cameras and stuff like that. So really, it was just a little bit of a play to see how it is. It may be something that would develop in time. It might be something that I do a couple of months, things like that. But literally, they're just going to be, you know, between 1 and 3 minutes. I think that's the thing. And you might find them out on social media and stuff. But fear not, members, you'll get the full thing as always, right the way through in high detail and everything else. It's just a little bit of a thing to put that out there to everything else. Obviously, Matt on the show as well, we were talking about various things that are happening with PM models at the moment, some of the changes, some of the things that are going on there since we've moved the buildings, the premises and stuff like that, and obviously pushing forward. Again, a massive thank you to all the members who gave comments and feedback. Obviously, loads of you wrote detailed, long sort of replies to some of the questions we made in this show. So again, massive thank you to you guys for taking the time to actually give us your feedback. And it's really nice to get honest, true feedback all the way through, because that's how we develop the site, we develop the business, as in Flory models and PM models as well. All right, so really nice to see that one. Anyway, members, you can go off now and you can catch up with that one. That was up with you right now. Other thing as well was up is the actual the video that we did last night, which obviously was a members live show, 7:30, again just for the members. And to be honest, I can't talk about most of it because yes, we'd probably get demonetized and all the rest of it. So but anyway, members, you know what we were talking about in there, answering loads of your questions, having a bit of a giggle, and all the team were on with this particular one. So if you want to, members, you want to go off and see this one, you can do it. It's up to watch with you right now. The other thing that went up yesterday as well was the review for the June Ornithopter. To be honest, I really like this thing. They call it a click fit kit and all the rest of it, but honestly, I built a few of their men click fit kits. They could do with a bit of glue and a bit of teasing sometimes, but this one looks really very nice indeed. Something that's a little bit different, shall we say. So yeah, it is. It's one of those ones which, you know, thoroughly enjoyed and will do building this one as well as we make our way through. So we've got all the pictures up down in here as well, so you can catch up with all of this one down in there and you can see it. But the parts are very nicely done, strong as well. It's almost like a plaything because it's quite big chunky plastic, but at the end of the day I think it's very nice. But the detail onto it does look particularly nice on this particular one, as you can see, and it's not small. Thank God this is a proper size kit right the way through on this one. Remember, you can get all the reviews and the bits and pieces. Obviously they do find themselves out on there, but if you go into the review section, that is up in here right now. And then obviously all the latest reviews of everything we've done are down in here, and there's literally hundreds of them to go through. So all you do is literally just click on one, and then obviously you get all the high res images, and all the instructions are there as well, so you can get a bit of an idea what you're going to be doing and how you're going to be building it, just like that. And again, nice thing with this kit is that it's fully posable, so everything moves on it. You've got 2 types of gear, you've got doors opening, closing, you can move the little wings back and forth and everything else. And it does look very nice. Expect to see that as a video build in the near future with that particular one, because to be honest with you, I really like it. I've got a thing, I might get the other version as well, because they do 2 versions of this one, and it'll be nice. But again, it's a nice size, it's big, it's chunky, we can do plenty with the weathering and everything else like that. Currently, I am working on the Space Legendary 1999 Eagle Transporter. Again, I've gone with the small one. I'm not brave enough to do the 48 scale one because that's just massive. But so we're working on this one. And to be honest with you, parts cleanup, it's got a little bit of flash and stuff like that. And this little guy, I was doing a little bit on this yesterday, cleaning it all up. So next week, we'll be cracking on properly with this one as we make our way through. As I said before, for the members, there'll be no show on Monday or Tuesday next week because I'm helping the kids move house. So we'll be all hands to the pump doing that one on Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll be back to it as normal on Wednesday with a vlog and then the various things as we make our way through the week. And then hopefully part one of this little lump will be up with you as well. All right, so first part of this one will be up next week, and then I'm going to crack on with the Osprey as well. We're doing the Osprey at the same time. Matt did bring down a zoom set for it. We've got a mask set for the Osprey and stuff like that. So we've got the big 48 scale Osprey, which we're going to be working on with this one at the same time. Now that this little lump has moved away, all right, so yes, plenty of those things coming along. Other things going on at the moment. Up in the store, I've had a big restock of all the tweezers that have come back in, and now they are out on general sale to the public as well. So we've got the snips, we've got the display scraper, which I absolutely love. It's double-ended, yeah, it's just mega. And then we've got the actual plastic tipped tweezers, which are really handy, and we've got the new ones now. So they are out on the main site for sale. So if you want to grab any of those, you're in the UK, grab them there. Clearly, if you are in the EU, get them from obviously Breveco Modelling, because obviously, you know, they've got them all there and your postage would be a lot cheaper, along with all your washes and all your other bits and pieces in there just like that. So plenty of things going on there. Other things going on at the moment over on the PM store, various things. A lot of you know the Abtai Lung range is being rebranded and stuff like that. So we got a little bit of stock obviously left over from the other one. So we got 10% off now. Obviously all the oils. I think it's a little bit of a rebranding thing, but we don't want to get stuck with two brands, if that makes sense. So, and again, some of the colors they are discontinuing, we are led to believe. So they're streamlining their business as well, the way they do it. So we've got basically 10% off all of those, and we got 10% off all the Abtai Lung 502 brushes. So if you want to grab any of those ones, and the usual one with the actual thinners and stuff like that down in there as well. So if you want to get every one of those, they are up on sale at the moment over on the PM store. As is, obviously, you might notice that some of the brands are missing these days. We are having a little bit of a cull. And as you can see, we've got the great kits up here. And again, we've got a nice little chunk off there, basically in a tenner off both of these ones. Highly, highly recommend it. Have a look at the review. And if you're not tempted, there's something wrong with you, because they are very, very cool. All right, so we've got both of these up on here like this, plus about some of the other things. We've got that A10, it's the one that I actually did the review of. Matt took it back with him. We've got the Puma, we've got the Aerocobra as well, and obviously we've got the Spitfire. So these are the review samples that Matt took back with him, so up on the site right now, plus all the other deals. Now, obviously, a lot has been said and people asking about where's all the brands disappearing from. As I say, we're having a little bit of a massive shake-up of the company and doing various things. So at the moment, we're moving some of the kits off at a cheaper price. So if you pop over to, and I will link the details down below, if you pop over to eBay, we've got an eBay shop now called DonKits17, all right? And all the sort of, it's only because we've got like ones and twos of kits and things like that left over have been put up there now. So there's lots of kits. All your bits and pieces are up there for sale as well. So there's a full store now. It is technically the PM store, but it's obviously under DonKit17 on there. And I said, in the show notes down below everywhere, I'll link it so you can go off and you can have a look and maybe get yourself a bargain down in there. All right. So if you want to grab any of those ones, they are up in there as well. As I said before, it's just a little bit of a restructuring, redoing things. We're making way. We've got new lines coming in and new things we're getting really excited about as well. So yeah, literally as soon as we get ourselves all sorted, you'll get big announcements of what's going on the PM models side. So yes. Anyway, as I said, this week it was all about this little lump, and it is finally done. Now the only trouble is I've got to try and find somewhere to put it, because my little display up there, I've tried it and it doesn't fit, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to try and make a home for this over the weekend and get it out of the way and keep it nice and safe. But I have to say, again, I know I said it last week, but a big thank you to everybody who reached out for me for information on this kit and that you've worked on it, or any ideas, for the people who sent me stuff that's on YouTube and Google and references as well, because it really did make this build really enjoyable. And again, the kit aside, the kit isn't too bad. You just throw it together and then worry about it all afterwards, all right? But at the end of the day, I think we've done it sort of justice on this one, and I really, really do like the way it turned out in all its sort of glory now. And it's something I'm really, really proud of. But again, thank you to all the feedback, because again, when you get a build and it's a little bit, it's very easy to get really disheartened, but you get that sort of you guys pushing it along, and have you seen this, and it's inspirational and stuff. And when you get a kit like that, actually it really makes it a fun build, and definitely has been a fun build with this particular one. Anyway, that's about it for me this week. As I said, I'll be with you on Wednesday, but until then, I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery. So until next week, everybody, happy modelling. Take care.
I was not ready to falling like I'm wasted.